What's up, guys? It's me Boxing, and I just finished up watching Gennady Golovkin versus Kamil Szeremeta, which is a 12-rounder for the IBF Middleweight World Championship. And this fight was Friday, December 18th from the Seminole Hard Rock Casino and Hotel in Hollywood, Florida. And this fight was broadcasted on DAZN in the United States and Sky Sports abroad. And in this fight, like most people expected, Gennady Golovkin gets a knockout victory defending his IBF Middleweight World title, improving to 41-1 with 1 draw and 36 KOs. I predicted this fight 100% correctly. I predicted either a 6th or 7th round stoppage win for Gennady Golovkin. Ultimately, Triple G dropped Szeremeta 4 times, once at the end of the first, once in the second, and I believe once in the fourth, and then again in the 7th. Correct me if I'm wrong for that third knockdown, but the 4th knockdown was from a couple jabs. But throughout the whole fight, it was just a dominant performance from Triple G. He was winning every round, pitching a shutout on my scorecard, and I'm sure on the judges. But it looked like old Triple G, like when he would fight like Dominic Wade, David Lemieux, Willie Monroe, all those guys years back, where he just dominate them and drop them multiple times and put on a show for the fans. And I thought he looked very good, even though he's 38 years old, starting to, as you could tell, get older. He was sort of in his prime, I guess you could say, 2 years ago, since those Canelo fights, but the Derevyanchenko fight, as most people know, it was very, very close, could have gone either way, but this was a very good performance, in my opinion, even though it's sort of back to Triple G taking on lesser competition. It was a mandatory. He was ranked number 1 was Kamil Szeremeta in the IBF, so I can't really fault him for picking this opponent because he was the mandatory. So, he got the job done, and now next he's probably going to fight someone big. I know he really wants that Canelo trilogy, and that's a very possible outcome or next fight for him. But what I also want to see is him fighting like Demetrius Andrade, which is also a fight that could be made, being that both work with Matchroom, with Eddie Hearn, and DAZN. But what's next for Triple G? As I said before, I would love to see a trilogy with Canelo or a fight with Demetrius Andrade. And I do think either of those 2 fights will be next, since Triple G, only holding the IBF World title, doesn't really have any other mandatories, and he just beat his mandatory right now, which was Kamil Szeremeta. So, like I said before, I do think that he will either fight Demetrius Andrade in a unification, same with a WBA and IBF unification with Canelo Alvarez, if he gets past Callum Smith tomorrow night. But what's next for Kamil Szeremeta? I think he will just go back to fighting in Poland just against unknown opponents like he was before this Triple G fight, and I don't think he'll get any other title opportunities. Overall, in my opinion, very good performance from Triple G, as I said before, getting the 7th round corner stoppage when I forgot to mention that at the end of 7. Referee just decided it was enough. I agree with the referee. Some people might say it was an early stoppage and that he could have continued, but he was getting battered throughout the whole fight, and it's just for the fighter's health that he stopped the fight. Overall, Gennady Golovkin defending his IBF middleweight world title, improving to 41-1 with 1 draw and 36 KOs. And yeah, that's really it. I'm Mimi Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.